This is how far we got in the last movie with our little project here. Let's take a look at what the next step is, and we'll start to see if we can add this text. 10 strategies for success, and then it has 10 paragraphs or 10 sentences with the strategies on it. The strategies are in lorem ipsum text. So I'll start by building this 10 strategies for success text. Let me go over and click on the canvas for my new project. And to get this started, I think I'll change the colors back to their default black and white. Here are the color swatches. And anytime you want to change the color set back to the default black and white, you just click on this little icon right here, and it resets them to black and white. So we're going to pick the text tool. The text tool is located right here in the vectors tools. And as with many of these tools, you'll see that the text tool has a small little a triangle at the right corner of the icon. And if you hold that triangle down, you'll see that there are other variations of this tool beside the underneath that icon. I'm going to select the horizontal text tool. And since I have the text tool selected, I get the contextual changes up here to indicate that for the functions I need for the text tool. I think what I'll do is I'll type text. I think I'll go with Minion Pro for this, and I'm going to go with Minion Pro. I think I'll just select a bold typeface for this, and I don't think I'm going to 120. I think will be too big. I'll pick 72 pixels. The text color is black, and the paragraph will be aligned at the to the left. So now when I move the cursor over the canvas, the text tool shows up, and when I click the cursor once, I can start typing 10 strategies for success. Well, as you can see, I've got some problems with this. So it's much larger than I expected it was going to be. And so what I can do is I can hold the cursor down and drag across all of these letters to select them. I can move my cursor up here and I can change the size. Let's try about 48 and see how that looks. That's not bad. 48 is okay. I'm going to click the check mark to accept the changes in the text. Now this, when the text has been selected, it creates a new layer, and the name of the layer is the beginning of the text that was typed. It's indicated with a T that it's a text layer. Now on my layer here, my 10 strategies looks okay, but the for success bleeds over to the right, and I don't want to do that. So what I'd really like to do is edit that. So to edit the text, you can put the cursor, you can either find the text and highlight over. So you see when I move the text over the letters, I can highlight right there and get that highlighted. And then I could begin to make changes there. Or you can come over to the layer with the text and double click in the T, and all of the text is highlighted, and then you can edit the text. So I'm going to put the cursor right in front of the F, and I'm going to hit the return key, and that looks pretty good. Now on my other demo, the font size for the second part of this was smaller. So I'm going to highlight all that text, and I'll just simply change this font size to perhaps 30. Not bad, that works. That'll work for starters. So I'll click OK to accept the changes to the text. And using the process of alignment from CRAP, I see this doesn't align very well, so I'll use the Move tool. And I have the text selected, so now I'll just simply move the text down until they align together. So there's my first, my heading, and it aligns with the picture. Let's take a look at the next section of this. So here are my 10 strategies. So let's work on getting those strategies together. I'll go back to my document. So to add the rest of the text, I'll move the cursor down and I'll select the text tool. I'll check this. I'm at 30 points of text for my font size. I think that will be fine. So I'll come over here and I'll click on the canvas and I'll type the letter 1. And that allows me to create a new layer. I'm going to hit the check mark. The layer's been added at the bottom on my particular one, so I'm going to drag that up higher. Now I'm going to take the text tool, which is still selected, and I'm going to click down below and I'm going to type 2. and I'm going to accept that. That creates a new layer too. Now, as you see, the layers start to add on top of each other. I'm going to just swap those as I build these quickly. So I'll add another one, 3, and I'll hit the accept. I'll move that down. I'll add another 4. I'll use the accept tool. I'll move it down below the I'll add another one, 5. I have to do this to 10. Now what I could do is I could use the return key, but the return key prevents me from using a technique called alignment and distribution. There's an alignment and distribution tool that's very handy in Photoshop. So I'm setting this up so that I can use that tool. So I only have 3 more of these to go, and it doesn't matter where I put these because I'm going to be able to align those. And you notice after I accept every text item, I am dragging the layer by holding the mouse. I'm dragging the layer into position so that they are organized correctly on the menu bar over here, or on the layer bar. So now I have my 10 items in place. I will position number 10 down near the bottom. So I'll get the move tool, make sure that item 10 is selected, and I'll get the cursor in the middle of item 10, and I'll just get a hold of it and I'll drag it down and put it here on the left. Now I'm going to hold the shift key down. Layer 10 is selected, and I'm going to hold the shift key down to select all of these layers together. Oops, forgot to accept that. There we go. Accept. Okay, now I'm holding the shift key down and I have all the layers selected. So now I can go into the layer command up here at the top, and I can do 2 things. First, I can align the left edges with the align tool. So I'll click on that. All the left edges are aligned. And now I'll use the same thing. I'll pull down the layer menu and I'll hit the distribute tool. And in this case, I'm going to distribute the vertical centers. And that has automatically centered all the items for me. So I can click away, and that is completely the way I want it to go. In the next movie, I'm going to show you how to add the lorem ipsum text next to these items.